Hello everybody, this is Kairos Flame, and I absolutely felt the need to come on and make this video now. And it's actually kind of difficult for me to make videos during the day because I do have a child, but I really need to do this, so I may be interrupted or not, we'll see. But at this moment, it is clear to me that people are being tested, okay? And it's not the kind of test that it appears to be on the surface. And what is being tested in many of us at this moment in time is our ability to remain in non-judgment. So our ability to remain in the frequency of non-judgment. One thing is clear to me, being a twin flame myself, is that this energetic template and the meeting of the twin flame is a catalyst for remaining in non-judgment. So it puts us on the path towards non-judgment. And there have been people who have been and lived before us, okay? And I'm not a believer in linear time, but I'm just using this in a context. There are people who have been on this earth who have brought this frequency here, okay? The most notable person would be Jesus Christ. And we can take into consideration the metaphor of the symphony. Okay, we can look at each individual person on this planet as a unique composer unto themselves. And they are creating their symphony, and the symphony is colored with varying notes of different colors and lack of color, okay? And say you go to a symphony, and there's the composer there, and you're listening to the composition that the orchestra is performing, and there are really low notes, and they convey maybe the sound of hate and despair and a lot of darkly colored emotions, okay? And you say to yourself, wow, I've been there, I feel that, I really feel that. And then later on in the composition, there are light, fluttery notes, and that may convey the sense of innocence or even love. And you say, ooh, I can feel that. I've been there, I can relate to that. And when the whole symphony is over, you look at the whole picture and you say, wow, that was really the depth of feeling. That felt good because it took you everywhere. It took you all along the spectrum, and it was just beautiful. But do you look at your own symphony the same way? Or when you're in the low note of emotion, okay, and in the darkness of particular emotions, do you say, wow, this is terrible. I can't believe I'm here right now. Why am I even here? This is a terrible emotion to feel. I shouldn't feel this way. Why am I feeling this way? And then when you're in a high note and you're playing a high note in your own symphony of life, do you say, I feel so good. This is so much better than the low notes. I never want to hear another low note again. Those low notes, they can go to hell. Do you say that when you go to a symphony, a real symphony, Do you judge the piece or the composition like that? The way that you judge yourself and the way that you judge others. You look at other people's symphony and you say, oh, they're in a low note. They shouldn't, that's the wrong note to be playing right now. Shame on them. They should just stop. Can't they see they need to be playing high notes? They're performing their own symphony in their own life. That has nothing to do with you. Another metaphor for this that a lot of teachers like to use is the yin-yang symbol. And you have the darkness, which is the low notes. It's the lower notes. Okay? And you have a lot of people residing in the darkness that look at the light and say, we're the spiritual ones. The ones in the light, they're wrong. They're the wrong ones. And then you have a whole group of people that are on the light side of the yin-yang, the white part. And they look at the dark part and they judge it. They say, those people, they're evil. I'm more spiritual. I'm in the light. I'm in what's called the light. And this is where I am. Those people in the dark, they're just, shame on them. They're ignorant. But where are we supposed to reside on this spectrum of light and dark? There's a kind of invisible line that appears to separate the light from the dark side of the yin-yang. Okay? And that invisible line that appears to separate the light from the dark actually connects them. And what is that connection? That connection is the line of non-judgment. Our purpose, one of our main purposes as twin flames, it doesn't even have to be twin flames, as what we label as spiritual people, we are supposed to be bringing more of this non-judgment consciousness in. Okay? We are supposed to be walking that line that so many have walked or tried to walk before us and did not have other people bringing this type of consciousness in. We have each other. Some people had to do this alone. Imagine that. Imagine having to do this completely alone. And where does that line of non-judgment take us? Where does it connect to? That line of non-judgment connects directly to Source. It connects directly to God. It connects directly to the universe. It connects, informs the entire picture of oneness. Okay? And this is where we're supposed to get to. And it is not easy to get to this place. But there are certain things out there right now, and certain things people are saying that are really pushing people's buttons. And it automatically is putting them into the frequency of judgment. The more we can stay in non-judgment, okay, of ourselves, the more we can connect directly to Source and to that oneness that resides inside of ourselves. And the more we can do that, the more we can connect with our twin flames, our beloveds, and the more we can connect the light and the dark side of our feminine the light and the dark side of our masculine, and not judge it. And just let the flow of emotion happen. And feel it. But remain neutral. And the more we can do this, we can connect to everything. Everybody has their own path, and it is not up to us to judge or to say, you're going down the wrong path, you're going down the right path to other people. If anything, if you find yourself residing in that frequency, in that mind state, I really do believe that you need to take some time and go inward and figure out where you are being judgmental about yourself, about the actions of your twin flame. This is a time to reflect. And it's a time to reflect inward, not outward. It's time to reflect inward. Okay? This is a little bit of a purging happening, and we're purging the areas of judgment that we have. And a lot of people are going to start to enter into this frequency of non-judgment. And what I mean by enter into, because this is what has begun to happen for me over the last couple of months, is that I'm starting to be very aware of when I'm being judgmental against myself, against others. And you could even say that me saying that other people are residing in judgment is a judgment unto itself. But it is something to consider. It's something to think about. Okay? So I'm going to leave it here. I love you all. I wish you all the best. Until soon.